Abbie, first of all, all looking forward to this big game, so I'm sure you are. Just before we talk about the big game, obviously yourself has moved locally from Linfield across to Cliftonville. All of us didn't see that coming. How did that come about?
Yeah, obviously, I just think it was the best move for me at this time.
Yeah, and you're looking forward to the new season. I know you've got Northern Ireland, but obviously the new season's going to be very big for you as well.
Yeah, it's going to be massive. Everybody wants to be getting game time and really, playing well to be picked for these Northern Ireland squads.
Yeah, obviously it's great to see you back after injury as well. I suppose this was really a big target for you and you've achieved it, so you must be well pleased with that.
Yeah, it was massive for me when obviously I first got injured. My goal was to make the first camp in Spain. As it was friendly, I could build up some match fitness. And thankfully, Kenny's picked me for this camp.
There's a lot's changed since the last time we played Austria. We held them to a draw, and we probably should have won that game, apart from that killer blow at the death. But obviously now we're full-time players and so forth in terms of the training side of it. Can you see sort of a big difference in that sort of the way the side are approaching this game?
No, I just think, we're approaching like any other game. It's just the same when we come away. We all train hard together and come up with a plan that we think is going to work on the night of the match.
Probably a bit more pressure on you than that. You probably need a win out there. Let's be honest, the draw is maybe not going to be enough potentially. So do you feel a wee bit more pressure because of that?
Yeah, obviously, we know how massive it is to win this game, but we're just obviously approaching it the same. And hopefully our tactics and the way we set up will be enough to win that.
That's good enough for me. Thanks very much, Abbie, and good luck with the next few games. As already has been mentioned there, obviously you're moving back stateside again after a short spell in England. Some great names over in America. I mean, Race and Louisville, I have no idea where they are in America, I have to be honest with you. You played previously with Nashville Rhythm and so forth, so there's some great names over. In terms of the women's game in America, what's the big difference between you at that and the WSL? Not on the pitch, but so off the pitch, is it much more professional in terms of the setup and so forth? What's the difference?
Yeah, so I haven't really been exposed to the professional environment over there, obviously just with being at university, but just from obviously what I've heard, what I've been told to expect, the facilities are brand new facilities. I think they're actually one of the top ones in the NWSL, where I'm heading. I've heard that the reaction when people see it is just like, wow. So I think they're expecting my reaction to be the same. And you're treated more equally to the men as well, probably in the NWSL is the best way to kind of describe it, whereas I know within the WSL there's still that progress being made with obviously trying to get to where you're treated as a professional, whereas I know in the NWSL you're already treated as a professional and they give you everything, they provide you everything to obviously perform at the highest level. So I would say, yeah, that's like the biggest difference.
In terms of the season, it was a tough old season for Birmingham, let's be honest about it. I mean, how did you find that whole experience?
Yeah, it was very demanding, both physically and mentally. Obviously, we were unfortunate enough to have a depth in the squad, so it meant playing a lot of minutes, which obviously becomes very physically demanding. And then just with kind of losing, and having that pressure with relegation year in year out, it does become a bit mentally draining as well. And obviously because each time you're having to push your way through, obviously you want to win games. I mean, everyone wants to win, that's like why we love to play. So obviously that's been difficult over the 3 years, but I think it's a good challenge that I've had. Like, it's made me stronger as a player, taught me a lot of lessons. So yeah,
a lot of younger players now are coming through the game in Northern Ireland. Obviously, the ladies' game or the girls' game is growing massively. And a lot of them will look up to the WSL and think this is the peak of their career. What sort of advice would you be giving to those younger players coming through, maybe looking at maybe a big move to Manchester United or Chelsea or whatever it happens to be?
I just think, obviously, yeah, it's great that the opportunities are getting bigger than the women's game, but I just think the most important thing is to be happy playing football. So knowing the environment you're going into, the girls that surround you, the coach as well, that's important. So I think don't think so much on the name side of things, because yeah, it could be a name, but they might not provide you with the best or what you are as a player. So I just think picking where you're going to be happiest and where you're going to perform at your best is the most important.
Okay. In terms of the Northern Ireland squad, I mean, obviously full-time training. Have you seen a big difference in the players who are playing part-time? Have you seen a big difference in their performance over that time?
Yeah, definitely. I think a great example is obviously Kerry, having recently, moved to Scotland to play, because obviously she wants to progress and get better there. Same as Rebeccà McKenna moving across to England. But yeah, the girls are obviously home based in Northern Ireland. there's been massive improvement with their fitness levels, even just strength work, and because obviously when they come into camp, it's a lot more intense. So you've definitely noticed a difference with that.
Final one for me then. I know I'm jumping ahead of the team against England. In terms of that, there you've obviously played in the WSL. How much, from your personal viewpoint, would it give you that nice to be able to get one over all those players?
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that. Yeah.
We all would. He's hoping we can do it, you know. Listen, thanks very much for talking to us.